I've heard you use the word leveling up too. And, you know, I'll start there because I always, you know, while I view what I'm doing, what I did is level up, you know, I don't know if anyone else would view it that way. I left my career at its height at a time when others, you know, were, you know, I had opportunities and I was still young and I could have kept going. But, you know, success isn't defined by money or titles, I had to learn. You know, I had a C-level title and the compensation that went along with it at this large company before I was 40. But I never felt successful. I always felt like I was failing in some way because I wasn't doing what I thought, what I knew I should be doing. I always felt the pull to do something else. And when you just feel like there's something out there, you know, that you're meant to be doing, you know, you have some major changes to make, and it takes some time to do it. And first thing was my mindset. You know, learning how to define success for myself instead of, you know, the success that I had kind of been told to go for. You know, the success not being the money or the titles. And again, for me, just going back to that idea that time is the finite thing. And how I spend my time, you know, is what I'm giving back to the world. And that's what would make me feel more successful. So really getting clear on that mindset for myself and defining success for myself was probably the first step. And also, you know, I'll tell you a little bit on the personal side. Yes, I made this huge career transition, but one of the big things I had to do to be able to do that was set myself up on the personal side. You know, not only was I questioning how I spent my time at work, but also my husband and I started to question how we were spending our time at home and with our family. And, you know, we made some major changes. We realized we didn't want to spend our time at Home Depot anymore. We didn't want to spend our time managing landscapers or doing home renovations. And so we traded in our 5,400 square foot home for a 950 square foot rental for my family of four. And we did this by choice.
That's awesome.
And it's my favorite home, Natalie, that I've ever lived in. I think other people looked at our move and they were like, they thought that we were a little crazy, you know, being this family of four in this small space, particularly during the pandemic. But, you know, my husband and I like to, whenever people look at it, they're like, no, it's inspired. We kept telling ourselves it's an inspired choice. Now we can walk our kids to school. We can walk pretty much anywhere. We got rid of a lot of belongings that we never used. And while it was a lot of work to do it, it's really freeing. It was really freeing once it was complete. But it was a lot of work and it was a lot of preparation. And that was also something that we mentally needed to do and shed for me to be able to make some of the career transitions I made. And so, you know, for me, I think I leveled down potentially in a lot of people's eyes, you know, professionally in my personal life because of the changes I made. I no longer had that title or that salary or the big home. But for me and my family, we feel like we really leveled up in the quality of our life and the way that we're spending our hours. And this all taught me something that I help clients with too about, you know, at some point you really need to define your own success. Yes. And you have the courage to go up against the grain to start living it. And it sounds easy to say, you know, what do you want? And, you know, just go after it. But it's not. There's a lot of wind in your face as you're doing it and a lot of questions. So really feeling grounded in what your definition of success is and then being able to go do it is a real key to finding that energy that we were just talking about.